We don't wait until everything is just right. It will never be perfect. There'll always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. All we have to do is get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful.
Amazina nitwa Umunyanago Dance.
Umunyanago Dance.
Amazina yanjye nitwa Bizimana Damiane. Ndi umugabo w'abana batatu.
Damian is the father to 3 children and a husband to this beautiful wife. He was born with both arms working properly until one day when he had an accident that nearly took his life away.
Ni impanuka yabaye ndi mu kazi ndimo nkora nshakisha imibereho nk'abandi bose.
It was one late night as he had reported to work as usual. He worked in a certain factory and this time he was working on a night shift. It was around 3 a.m. in the morning and the workmate of him accidentally mixed some chemical products that could never be mixed. When he tried fixing it, he slipped into another machine that chopped off his arms. It went on grinding from toes to lower parts of the arm, and he was lucky it was switched off before it destroyed the whole of the man. After that tragic accident, he was rushed to the hospital, and after numerous scans and examinations, doctors had to remove part of the totally damaged arms, as the man was bleeding too much.
Byari bigoye kuko urumva kuba warumenyereye ko kugenda gukora urugo gukorera mbere cyangwa se hazaza hawe kuko nari ntarashaka byambaye ntari nashaka.
It was difficult for this man to cope up with such a life without arms, and he was not used to such a life. He had in mind that life was going to be tougher, and he wasn't wrong. To make matters worse, that tragic accident happened when he was still unmarried, and now chances of him getting married were coming to nearly impossible. Moving on and accepting the fact that he's going to live a life without arms for the rest of his life was something he could not easily process. He knew what hands are capable of, and at some point he could think life was going to be worse than it was since arms feeding him were chopped off. But remembered, he who keeps him alive has a purpose on his life, and why doubt about himself? He developed a sense of self-confidence, and from there he realized this was not the end, but a reminder that he has to work hard as twice as normal people. There was one girl whom they worked together. He had helped the girl to get a new job in that company, and wished that one day she could be his wife, but the man was yet to propose. After the accident, though the odds of getting rejected seemed to be higher, he tried and shot his shot, and luckily enough, the girl said yes, and she's this wife who is beside us right now. She also tells us more.
Kuba yarankundaga birashoboka ariko yaratarabimbwira jewe nabifataga nk'ibintu biraho bisanzwe.
At first, Gaudence never thought the friendship could go this far. She could only see the guy as a humble and a caring person who helped her get a job, but the man had other serious plans. The day she was told of the accident, she could not believe that it really happened. But when she entered the factory, blood was everywhere, and she immediately lost her mind. She could not believe such a horrible thing would happen to a nice and a humble guy who helped her get a job. All she did was going to the bathroom, then broke into tears and cried for more than 2 hours. After seeing blood everywhere, all she thought was that it was over and the man might have died.
Namaze kurira numva nyine amarira ashize ndihanagura ndagaruka.
What caught her attention was that after the guy went in coma for almost the whole week, Waking up, the first thing he said was mentioning her name, and she was so surprised. Doctors were like, "Who is that person?" And they made sure the person was brought immediately to the hospital, since the patient requested to seeing her and suggested is what will make him come back to life. When they told Gaudence to go and see the man at the hospital, she refused to go at first, but later had to go and see him. The man spent 3.5 months at the hospital, and one day, while she was taking care of the man at the hospital, the man proposed the girl. He was like, "Though my arms are not so functioning, my head is working properly. I love you, and I wish you to be my partner for the rest of my life." The wife accepted the man's proposal, and after coming back to a normal life, they started living together. After 2 years living together, the couple got married legally. Life was not that easy at first, as they met a lot of challenges in this life together, and the worst thing to ever happen to them was losing the firstborn back in 2008. This was so heartbreaking, and they could not imagine how on earth the firstborn would lose his life.
Nyuma y'iminsi 5 nibwo yavuye muri koma. Avuye muri koma yavuyemo ahamagara izina ryanjye. Yego.
The man is no longer working in that factory, since his duties involved lifting heavy things with both arms, and he could clearly see that he needed a new job. And all he did was having a revelation, and God told the man to go around the world teaching the gospel. He spends his time learning and meditating the word of God, and if he is invited to a certain congregation of people, he goes there and preaches. He says living a life without arms helps him to motivate and restore people's hopes. The woman on the other side is a proud mother and says she respects the man for his personalities, and adds she was lucky she met this extraordinary husband whom she thinks he's a gift from heaven.
Birarenze umugabo wanjye mufata nka gift Imana yampaye kuko ni umugabo udasanzwe kuri nge, aramfasha, turafashanya, aranyubaka akampumuriza, aho ngeze numva ngiye gucika intege arambwira ati komera ntabwo uri wenyine mu muri Imana irahari.
She says life is not always good and things aren't always perfect, as there are always challenges in life, but says we should always fight together for the sole purpose of loving each other, as the couple believe that love should come first in whatever things we do. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. Try not to become a man of success, but a man of value. Look around at how people want to get more out of life than they put in. A man of value will give more than he receives. Be creative, but make sure that what you create is not a curse for mankind. It's such a simple formula. The more senses we bring to the moment, the more time slows. The more a catalogue of joy, vivid memories grows in our minds, the more life is filled with gratitude, and the more nourished our soul is. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah, and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.